Hello everybody, how are you doing? Okay, welcome to Virginia Water. Now I hope I'm not going to upset too many people in this video, but this is the Nike Vomero Plus, and this is probably the worst shoe that I've bought in a long time. What's actually bad about it? Well, the fact is it's just such a clown shoe. I mean, look at that, it's just absolutely huge. 373 grams in my size. This is a shoe that I bought into the hype, and I got the Vomero 18, never did a video on that one, thinking this will be better, it's all ZoomX, and really it's no better. If I think it's probably worse, perhaps my expectations levels were higher. I think the problem for me is just so massive. Look at that. Compared to, say, the Vaporfly 4, which is far more akin to my foot shape, it just sort of makes running for me in this one just feel like it's just an effort. I've done a 10K in it so far and about a 3-mile run where I did some jumping over the GoPro. And I can't say that any part of that run was particularly enjoyable. I did a couple of 7:15 miles to finish just to prove that I could actually get going in it. I think I was just keen to get the thing off. You can see here that how big this shoe is. There's the back of the shoe there, and almost this green bit here is almost an outline of my foot. If I put my foot on there, you can see like it's actually moulding to that green bit fairly well. But look at the heel there. I've just got like a huge amount of space either side of the actual base here, and at the top, yeah, I mean, it's almost like you feel like you got about an inch around the whole shoe, doesn't it? It just feels to me so big and wide, and it feels like it's a bit bottom heavy. For someone like me that tends to toe off at the front there, it felt like you're looking at the footage. I was sort of landing fairly flat-footed, and just feeling that so much shoe to rock forward on just feels like it's so much hard work. And I've seen some people, reviewers, saying, oh, it's the best shoe ever, and it's so light and so springy and all that stuff. Well, have they actually bought any other shoes? I do find it somewhat a puzzling statement. The actual lockdown isn't actually too bad. It's got a really nice padded tongue, which at least helps with my narrow foot to lock it in. And it probably then does mean it is rather hot on foot, but I don't think I'll be wearing it for too long. An awful lot of padding in the back. It's kind of very similar to the Invincible one in that sense, but look how much more padding there is now under the toes than there used to be. I mean, the Invincible one, I just wore them again recently, and there's almost a bit of ground fill in them, which is quite surprising when you think that at the time this was just like the most sort of biggest thing ever. And I did eventually get used to using the Invincible one, and I got about 180 miles out of it, and I got the second one, wasn't really any different. So effectively, this is although it's called the Vomero Plus now, this really is the Invincible 4. I never bothered with the Invincible 3. And I think probably glad that I didn't. And to be fair, it's quite a nice looking shoe, and I got this in this rather bright Volt colorway, which is usually my favorite one here. And the upper is a nice sort of mesh material. It fits reasonably well in terms of length. I certainly wouldn't want to get any shorter one. I've seen a couple of people thinking they might need to size down. I think it's just the fact it's such a big shoe. But the fact that it's so well padded, that means that even though it's so wide at the base, your actual foot is actually locked in fairly well. But it does, of course, mean that all this extra outsole needs to come with you as well. And if you look there at the back, although it says ZoomX, it says it's tuned for maximum cushioning. So I think what that means effectively is that you don't get the same ZoomX formulation that you do in, say, the Vaporfly 4 or the Alphafly 3 or the Streakfly 2. You get a much more toned down version, which is perhaps a bit less springy, because obviously there's no plate in this one. And what I did notice, I didn't think it was quite as springy as I thought. I think that's probably the fact that I was just slapping down, and then each stride became hard to sort of get off the ground a bit. There's just so much padding at the back, which is quite nice in a way to lock you in, but it just feels like it's just adding on weight for no good reason. Really is the shoe that I think it crosses over to the lifestyle type of shoe. I mean, yes, people are going out and doing long runs in this one. And I think it's interesting when I hear people saying, oh, I can't run in a Vaporfly 4, not sure it's got enough stack, not sure it's got enough cushioning. Well, you think, well, do these people ever used to run at all back in the day? I mean, maybe being a bit up myself, but sometimes you're kind of thinking, oh, you need to look at a shoe, and is this really the one for you or not? And I think when I hear people saying, I can't run in one of these, but I need one of these, the only way I can run, I was thinking, oh, well, yeah, as Sue would say, I'm very pleased for you, but I just don't think it's for me. Is there anything about the shoe that really commends it to me other than the fact that it looks quite nice? Well, not really. I just think max cushion shoes just aren't in the genre of shoes for me. And really, I find it very hard to say anything nice about it. Yeah, maybe it's one of those shoes that if my legs really were battered, I might take it out. But you think, well, if your legs are that battered, shouldn't you just be resting? You think there's a time and a place for actually a recovery run. And what is a recovery run? I always think, well, is that a day after a hard session? And if you're so knackered from the session that you have to put on a shoe like this to do a few slow miles, well, is that really saying something about your training, and you need to look at what you're actually doing there? And I think, well, if I go out in this one, I feel like it's so much easier, because if it's sort of going up a little hill, I've got, what, 150 grams less shoe on my foot. It just feels like it's a lot of hard work. So yeah, I think if you like a shoe like this, you'll love it. And if you're not sure whether you want a shoe like this, well, my best suggestion is think twice about it. And if you like the new wave of really light super shoes and you like a super nice sort of everyday trainer, then yeah, this is something very different and not necessarily for everyone's cup of tea. So I think it's a case of buyer beware. And yeah, some people are going to love this, and some people like me basically are going to think this is absolutely awful. And even though it's got a Nike swoosh on it, doesn't mean to say it's just going to be the next best thing, for sure. And the fact it's got Zoom X on it, I think, well, now so many shoes have got Zoom X on it that it's almost been a bit nerfed. And yeah, well, I'm not sure I even make 8 minutes of this video. So it really has been a bit of a car crash of a video, this one. But I thought I'd get out some thoughts on it. Has anyone got this? Is anyone enjoying it? Or are you feeling like me, it's just a sort of shoe that really doesn't really have a place in your rotation? Or maybe it's your favourite shoe. Please let me know in the comments. Anyway, hope you found this interesting. Like and subscribe on that, and see you next one then. Bye. I think now I need to go out and do some gold paste in this shoe, make me feel better. And trying to outdo Robin from Road to Trail, I found a nice little log here, sculptured as a bench. So yeah, quite a nice little place to do a bit of a video. A bit of gold paste done in the Vaporfly 4s. Hello everybody, here it's okay. Welcome to Virginia Water. Now, a bit of a horror show today. I've got the Vomero Plus here. This seems to be a shoe that's having rave reviews from people. Everyday runners seem to be thinking it's the best Nike shoe ever. And well, sometimes people think just buy a Nike shoe to bash it, but in this instance, I think, well, it really is absolutely dreadful. Hello everybody, how are you doing? Okay, welcome to Virginia Water. Now, a bit of a horror show today. I've got the Vomero Plus. I've really been struggling to say anything good about this shoe. Seen quite a lot of reviews about it now, and people seem to be fairly keen about it. I'm not really quite sure why. But yes, this is a recovery shoe for sure, but I kind of feel like a recovery shoe needs to be enjoyable. The max cushion bit has just gone huge now. It's 45 mils at the back, it's 35 at the front. And then when I was in the Invincible 1, it's almost a bit of ground full at the front now compared to the actual differences now. See how much more stack there is at the front there. And at the time, I thought this was absolutely crazy. I think I'm just so used now to the wave of ultralight super shoes like the Vaporfly 4 here, which perhaps isn't my favorite racing shoe, but I've got this almost at 200 miles. And I think, well, am I really going to want to do that many miles in this one? Great Linford station on the Newport Pagnell to Wolverton line, the Newport Nobby line, I think it's called.